Welcome back, Cage Combat fans. Before we start, make sure hit the like button, share, and subscribe the channel for daily UFC news and updates. Let's begin. Manel Kape's bold take on BJJ leaves Demetrious Johnson in laughter ahead of UFC Vegas 103. Manel Kape never holds back when sharing his thoughts, and his latest comment about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, BJJ, had Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson bursting into laughter. While discussing the grappling art, Kape made a blunt remark, jokingly calling it a little too intimate. Johnson, a seasoned MMA veteran with deep respect for BJJ, couldn't help but laugh at Kape's unfiltered perspective. Known for his outspoken nature, Kape's words are sure to spark debate among fans and fighters alike. While some may see it as just another playful jab, others might take issue with his take on one of MMA's core disciplines. Will this stir controversy? Or is it just another example of Kape's raw personality shining through? What do you think? MMA stars Khabib Nurmagomedov, Belal Muhammad, and others send inspiring Ramadan messages. As the holy month of Ramadan begins, some of the biggest names in MMA, including Khabib Nurmagomedov and Belal Muhammad, shared heartfelt messages to mark the occasion. Fighters took to social media to extend warm greetings, reflecting on the significance of faith, discipline, and self-growth during this sacred time. Khabib, known for his strong religious beliefs, reminded his followers about the values of patience and gratitude, while Belal Muhammad expressed his enthusiasm for the spiritual journey ahead. Many other athletes joined in, spreading positivity and encouragement as millions around the world begin fasting. With Ramadan being a time of renewal and devotion, the dedication of these fighters, balancing their intense training with fasting, serves as a powerful example of perseverance and faith. What are your thoughts on athletes maintaining peak performance while fasting? Oscar De La Hoya calls out Joe Rogan over off-the-rails comment, challenges Dana White to a live debate. Oscar De La Hoya isn't staying silent after Joe Rogan took a shot at him, calling him off the rails. Instead of letting it slide, the boxing icon fired back, telling Rogan to stop being petty. But De La Hoya didn't stop there. He took things up a notch by making an unexpected offer. In a bold challenge, De La Hoya proposed appearing on the Joe Rogan Experience alongside his longtime rival, UFC President Dana White. Given their history of public feuds and harsh words, a live sit-down between the two would be nothing short of fireworks. Rogan has yet to respond, but if this face-off actually happens, it could lead to one of the most explosive conversations in combat sports history. Do you think Dana White would accept the challenge? Or will this remain just another heated exchange? Joe Rogan breaks down the GOAT debate, names two former UFC champions alongside Jon Jones. The GOAT debate in MMA never gets old, and Joe Rogan just reignited the conversation with his latest take on Jon Jones' legacy. Speaking on the Joe Rogan Experience, the UFC commentator gave Jones his due respect but made it clear he's not the only one in the discussion. Jon Jones is obviously one of the greatest, but there are others who deserve to be in that conversation too, Rogan stated. He then highlighted two former UFC champions who, in his eyes, have just as strong a case for the GOAT title. He's in the argument too, he added, keeping the debate wide open. With Jones' undefeated dominance, record-breaking title reign, and controversies, the discussion over who truly deserves MMA's GOAT crown remains heated. But Rogan's comments prove that the sport's history is filled with legends worthy of the title. Who do you think stands at the top of MMA's all-time greats? Is Jon Jones the undisputed GOAT, or do other legends have a stronger claim? Tito Ortiz shares his take on FBI's UFC-style training plan. It's not about fighting. Tito Ortiz has broken his silence on FBI Director Kash Patel's proposal to introduce UFC-style training for agents. While the idea of law enforcement learning combat skills from top MMA professionals has sparked debate, Ortiz made it clear that this isn't about turning agents into cage fighters. It's not really supposed to be a fight, Ortiz explained, stressing that the training focuses more on self-defense, control tactics, and situational awareness rather than full-contact combat. The initiative aims to equip FBI agents with practical hand-to-hand skills, borrowing techniques from the world of mixed martial arts. As a former UFC champion, Ortiz understands the value of elite-level training, but whether this approach will be effective for law enforcement remains a hot topic. Some see it as a game changer, while others question its necessity. Do you think MMA-based training would give law enforcement an edge, or is it more hype than practical? Watch. Joe Rogan and Elon Musk burst into laughter over Grok AI's wild sexy mode, flirting. Joe Rogan and Elon Musk wasted no time diving into some unexpected comedy as they kicked off their latest Joe Rogan Experience episode. The two tech enthusiasts found themselves cracking up over Grok AI's sexy mode, which, according to Musk, has been getting a little too flirty, sometimes in ways they didn't quite expect. Musk admitted that while Grok AI is built to be witty and engaging, its suggestive responses have been catching users off guard. Rogan, always one for a good laugh, couldn't get enough of the idea that an AI chatbot was out here dropping NSFW-level flirtation. As artificial intelligence continues to evolve, Grok's unexpected personality quirks raise an interesting question. Should AI have a playful side, or are we heading into some bizarre new territory? Would you be down for a chat with an AI that flirts back? Or is that a little too weird for comfort? Former Conor McGregor opponent reacts to UFC-FBI training plan with 3 powerful words. As Kash Patel explores the idea of partnering with the UFC to train FBI agents, one of Conor McGregor's most well-known former opponents has chimed in with a simple yet impactful 3-word response. While the proposal has sparked plenty of debate, this MMA veteran didn't hesitate to show support. Though the fighter's name hasn't been officially confirmed, his reaction suggests that he sees real value in bringing elite combat training to law enforcement. While some believe MMA techniques could give FBI agents a tactical edge, others question whether such training is practical in real-world scenarios. With the discussion gaining momentum, all eyes are on whether the UFC will officially get involved. Do you think MMA-style training would be an asset for FBI agents? Or is this idea more hype than reality? Michael Chandler hits back at Dustin Poirier's fake and cheater claims. I'm living rent-free in his head. The tension between Michael Chandler and Dustin Poirier isn't dying down anytime soon. After Poirier recently called him fake and accused him of cheating, Chandler wasted no time firing back, making it clear he's unbothered by the accusations. I'm living rent-free in his head, Chandler said, shrugging off Poirier's comments as nothing more than lingering frustration from their heated UFC 281 battle. Their fight was an all-out war, but accusations of rule-bending have kept the rivalry alive long after the final bell. With both fighters still major players in the lightweight division, could this back-and-forth lead to an explosive rematch? Or is Poirier just holding on to old grudges? 2 fights pulled from UFC Vegas 103 after weigh-ins. Here's what happened. Fight night plans took an unexpected turn at UFC Vegas 103 as 2 bouts were scrapped following the weigh-ins, forcing last-minute changes to the card. Kape vs. Royval cancelled. The highly anticipated flyweight showdown between Manel Kape and Brandon Royval was officially called off due to an injury sustained by Royval. As a result, ASU Almabayev stepped in as a replacement to ensure Kape remained on the card. Another fight dropped. In addition to the main event shakeup, another fight was also removed from the lineup. While details remain limited, the cancellation has undoubtedly impacted the fighters and fans who were eager to see the full event unfold. With last-minute adjustments and unexpected hurdles, UFC Vegas 103 continues to prove that anything can happen in the fight game. What are your thoughts on these cancellations? Bad luck? Or just part of the unpredictable nature of MMA? Youssef Zalal breaks down Volkanovski versus Lopez ahead of UFC 314. He's a real threat. As UFC 314 approaches, the highly anticipated featherweight clash between Alexander Volkanovski and Diego Lopez has fans buzzing, and Youssef Zalal has shared his early thoughts on the matchup. While Volkanovski is known for his dominance at the top of the division, Zalal sees Lopez as a serious challenge. He's a very dangerous guy, Zalal noted, highlighting Lopez's skill set and ability to finish fights, while Volkanovski's experience and championship mindset make him a tough opponent for anyone. Lopez has been making waves and could pose a real threat. With the fight drawing closer, the question remains, will Volkanovski continue his reign, Or can Lopez pull off a massive upset and shake up the division? Francis Ngannou opens up on his mindset before facing Tyson Fury. It was my first boxing match. Stepping into the ring against Tyson Fury was no small challenge, but Francis Ngannou approached it with a unique mindset. Reflecting on his confidence going into his boxing debut, the former UFC champion admitted he had a grounded perspective on the fight. "I was like, it's my first boxing match," Ngannou shared, acknowledging the pressure while embracing the opportunity. Despite being counted out by many, he shocked the world with his performance, proving that his power and skills could transition to the boxing world. With this experience under his belt, Ngannou has shown he's more than just an MMA powerhouse. The question now is, will he continue his journey in boxing and make a run at the top, or will he return to dominate the world of MMA? Ian Gary delivers 6-word response to college wrestler claiming he can beat Alex Pereira. Ian Gary had a priceless reaction after watching a college wrestler confidently claim he has the keys to defeating UFC champion Alex Pereira. The Irish fighter wasted no time firing back with a sharp 6-word response, making it clear what he thought of the bold statement. While wrestlers have historically been seen as tough matchups for elite strikers like Pereira, Gary's reaction suggests he isn't buying the hype. Taking down and controlling a powerhouse like Pereira inside the octagon is easier said than done, and Gary's response reflects just that. With Pereira continuing to dominate, the debate rages on, would a high-level wrestler be his biggest challenge? Or is this just another case of overconfidence? Conor McGregor mocks fighter payouts, claims he made more than entire boxing card combined. Conor McGregor is once again flexing his financial dominance, this time taking aim at the recently revealed fighter payouts from a boxing event. The former UFC champ didn't hold back, stating that he made more than this entire card's estimated payout combined, reminding everyone of his superstar status. McGregor, known for securing record-breaking fight purses and massive business deals, has long been one of the highest-paid athletes in combat sports. His latest comment highlights the massive earnings gap between him and most fighters in both boxing and MMA. As fans await his highly anticipated return to the UFC, one thing is clear: when it comes to making money in the fight game, McGregor remains in a league of his own. Ronda Rousey's former coach reveals the moment he knew she was destined for MMA. She was ready. Before Ronda Rousey became a trailblazer in women's MMA, there was a defining moment when her coach agreed to train her, and he recently opened up about that conversation. From the very start, he saw something special in her mindset and determination. She was ready, he recalled, describing Rousey's hunger to transition from judo to the world of mixed martial arts. At the time, women's MMA was still finding its place, but her confidence and relentless drive made it clear she had the potential to change the sport. That decision led to Rousey dominating the bantamweight division, becoming the UFC's first female champion, and forever shaping the future of women's MMA. Looking back, that conversation wasn't just the start of her career, it was the beginning of a movement. Michael Chandler senses tension in the room during Zelensky's White House meeting with Trump and J.D. Vance. UFC star Michael Chandler weighed in on the recent high-profile meeting at the White House between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, former U.S. President Donald Trump, and Senator J.D. Vance, noting the unmistakable tension in the room. With global attention on Ukraine's ongoing conflict, the gathering brought together strong political figures with differing views, making for a charged atmosphere. Chandler's observation hints at underlying friction during the discussions, though details of the exchange remain largely undisclosed. As world leaders navigate complex geopolitical issues, meetings like this can be pivotal. But was this one a step toward meaningful change, or just another political standoff? Vice TV unveils first look at Dark Side of the Cage episode on Matt Hughes' iconic UFC career and tragic accident. Vice TV has released a sneak peek of an upcoming episode of Dark Side of the Cage, which delves into the legendary UFC career of Matt Hughes and the life-altering accident that changed everything. Hughes, a two-time UFC welterweight champion, was one of the most dominant fighters of his era. However, his story took a heartbreaking turn following a near-fatal train collision in 2017. The documentary explores both his triumphs inside the cage and the struggles he faced in the aftermath of the accident. With Dark Side of the Cage known for its raw storytelling, this episode promises an emotional and revealing look at one of MMA's greatest fighters. Will it shed new light on Hugh's legacy and the challenges he's overcome? Fans won't want to miss it.